Hello everyone, my name is Mishak Gervais and with me it's Jackson. Hi Jackson.
Hello everybody, this is Jackson.
So Jackson and I today are going to talk about the holiday season and how that you guys can really take full advantage of all the fundraising opportunities that's out there, and either through using the tools or through some tips as to how to really make sure that you are on your management skills to get that going. So without further ado, welcome and let's get started. So this presentation will be very short. It will be between 20 to 30 minutes. And then we have some exercises that you guys can use on your own, some templates that you can fill out that can help you getting started and getting ready. And then if you have questions, feel free to ask us questions. And even if you're going to watch this after the webinar and you want to send questions, you can send them to either myself or Jackson, and we'll be happy to assist and answer any questions that you have. So for better sound quality, but if you do have questions, you can use the corner. The youngest season, the giving spirit, is a time really the nonprofit sector of really catching that raise awareness about what we're doing and why it's important for people to give and support. And so generosity is basically at the center of our attention, either through their families or through friends. People really are in that, and it's emotion flow. Full advantage of that. And that's the time when a lot of people are interested in giving because they know that they're going to get the tax benefit, but giving at a time when everybody else is giving, it's just fun. And so we can remind them that the tax benefit are still there. A very important day with our season. Usually it's at the beginning of November or at the end of November, and that really helped capture the whole month of December, but as well as the month of January. So this year, Giving Tuesday is on December 29th. Oh, sorry, November 29th, which is next Tuesday. And so it's on our court as to how to really get ready for that, but also how to sort of move forward and take that moment to sort of build on it for the rest of the holiday season. So as you can see, many, if not most of nonprofit is actually becoming throughout the holiday season, which goes from October to December. So you can see from between 24% of nonprofit has raised 31% of the budget in that period of time, and 50% or more have raised. I mean, in the number of nonprofit that was in that study, about 50%, close to 50%, has raised more than 36% of the budget in that period of time. And so it's really a moment take full advantage of and raise more funding and reach our fundraising goals. So that is very important, especially for us, One World Children's Fund, and the champions we want to make sure that this is the time. If you haven't reached your goal, this is the moment for it. So take full advantage of it and then be ready. As we're going to go through this, give you some tips as to things that you can do to really get ready for this moment. So I'm going to cover the first chapter, which really talk about the management, and then Jackson will go into chapter 2, which really things that you can do with Classy and in terms of crowdfunding to during that period of time. So I have this really simple thing, simple method, I said, that I call P-E-E, which is planning, executing, evaluating. In that planning area, so this is the moment where you really start thinking about what is it that I want to do. Thinking how you're going to count that moment throughout the season. And then the second phase is when you start actually putting these things into execution. So you really start organizing. If you're doing an event, then you organize for it. You figure out this is where it's going to be. This is how many people I want to host. You really start answering those questions that you ask in the planning phase. And then controlling as these, as your event unfolds, then you make sure that you are attending or you are achieving every single goal that you had, whether it was the fundraising goal, whether it was the attendance goal, whether it was the sort of the way that the events flow. You want to make sure that you're controlling every aspect so that you can provide fully. In an evaluation after the event or throughout the event, you can start evaluating and make sure that you're taking lessons and taking note about things that are not working, or things that you feel that they're not going to work the way you want them. Then you can start using that control mechanism as well as evaluation to sort of things and how can we fix it, or how can we fix them the next time when we're going to do that, or the next event that you're going to do throughout this whole season. So this is a very simple method. It's called P, planning, executing, evaluating. So as you can see in the planning phase, as I just talked about it, so you can define your financial goal and budget, the why behind your event. Why do you want to do this? What will the fund accomplish? Make sure that people know those things. Where is it going to be? The date, the venues, the target group, who is going to be in there, who is going to help you do it? What type of tools do you want? What are the strategy? Are you going to do it online? Are you going to do it? Are you going to do an email campaign? Which I think a lot of this will actually apply to. And then what are the resources that you have that can help you reach those goals? So once with your planning or done with your planning, one of the things that I usually like to do as an exercise is figure out what are the things that I need and what are the things that I have. And then comparing those two, then I can easily know if I have something, then this is an asset and I have to use it to my advantage in the planning phase or for anything that I'm going to do in the execution phase. Then it's easy for me to say, okay, I don't have this, then I need it. Therefore, I can just write it down and make sure that I have sort of a to-do list as to really finish up with my planning. The second phase is the organization phase. So this phase is where you actually start implementing your plan. So you have identified the needs and the things that you have. Then now we put a timeline to things, put a certain order. What are you going to do first? What is the second thing in order that you're going to do? And then really start looking at who is going to do what, and make sure that people actually, or anyone that's helping you, or the resources that you have those things in line. So you start organizing them and know exactly where, who, and what, who is doing what, answering the questions that you had asked before in the planning phase. As I said earlier, it's the phase when you actually, the event is unfolding, the process is going on, that you're reaching your goals. So if you have to make sure they put a table somewhere for you, then you make sure that that table was placed where it needs to be. Or if someone was to make the call, make sure that we have the venue set, and you make sure that you reach to that person and say, hey, have you get this done, and then you just check everything that you wanted to do as far as the control or the event goes. And one of the things I usually say, if you control well, you'll be able to anticipate most changes and easily adapt to the situation. So the things that were supposed to be, then if they're not, then you can easily make the change that nobody would actually realize that this was meant for. So the other thing is, if your real task here is to control the success of whatever you're doing. So if you control well, you really controlling the success. So that next phase is evaluation. So that phase, this is where you want to thank your people. You want to make sure that everyone that contributed to the success of your fundraising effort, you want to make sure that you acknowledge their support, and make sure that you help them understand the contribution that they just made as to what the funds that they gave, or the support that they give, or how it's going to impact the effort on the ground. And you want to also make sure that as you evaluate your effort, you want to make sure that you're keeping track or information that are really important as to your event. How much money did you raise? What are the analytics you push on social media? How many emails did you send out? How many new donors that you have? All this information that are important. They will help you in the future to either be more efficient, or maybe to know exactly where you should target, who you should target, and where you should place your event to have a better turnout. And so it is very, very important that you do that. But this, as you evaluate the result, you also want to evaluate the process. So what is it that you do that works? What is it that you do that you think you could have done better? And what I usually say is that you need vision, planning, execution, control, evaluation. So you want to do the exact same reverse of that. You want to evaluate the evaluation process. Are you actually looking at are you actually looking for the right information to really measure what you've done? And looking at the control, did something wrong? Did somebody fail? And did I actually not realize somebody failed in that process? So what's the, should you do a to-do list, or should you so evaluate the process, just like you design my plan. My event should be a success. I know everything about the execution. I have I did it once, and I will do it again at work. So while we focus on the audience, you still want to make sure that you are actually for your event and preparing for everything that you want to do and the success that you want to have. So I'm going to let Jackson talk about chapter 2, and I will probably just go and mute myself, Jackson.
Oh, all right. Okay. So chapter 2 is all about crowdfunding, sort of the what we are mechanism we're using to raise funds during this time, and then also sort of the things that go along with it in terms of the communication and methods of doing it, which is events and emails. Go next slide. All right. So what you can do as one event is have a Facebook event as a way of making this into sort of a unique opportunity of like celebrating Giving Tuesday on this day, which is on the 29th this year. And as in people, it's more than just an invitation to give. It is something people can be attending, and you can have links to your crowdfunding campaign on there, sort of like a central rallying and organizing place, and you can invite people, share it with people, and always important is when you share your event with people, you have a call to action to share, for them to share it with their network, so it grows, sort of, and multiplies with each person. All right. There you go. And now, now that we are all hosted on Classy, it is easier than ever to make your own special Giving Tuesday fundraiser. So everyone has their own campaign page, and anyone can go on the campaign page and become a fundraiser and make their own fundraising page. And what you can do is use this feature for Giving Tuesday and the holidays to make a special crowdfunding campaign. So you simply click the Become a Fundraiser, and you can make your own page for your overall campaign, but you can specialize it to be Giving Tuesday. Have a specific goal, something manageable, but something that will sort of energize people to reach during the Giving Tuesday, and show, and if you have donations ahead of time that you can enter in there, show a little bit of progress. That's always good as well, and just have it. It can support an overall project that you're working on right now, or talk about something special and small, or just sort of talk about, have the appeal be anything in large, sort of just donations going to your overall programs. But the idea is that it's centered around the event of giving on Giving Tuesday. And on Giving Tuesday, Classy will be waiving donation processing fees. So 100% of people's donations will be going to your program, which is very exciting. And so it means that people's impact is just that much greater, and that's an important thing to publicize, and gives people sort of a reason to vote, to donate on Giving Tuesday versus other days. Makes an event out of it. And on the next slide, I believe we have more information about, on the next slide, we have more information about how to create a crowdfunding template. So after you click that big green Become a Fundraiser button, you'll be directed to just a very short brief window about how you want to specify your page. And it's very easy. You just set a sort of a reasonable fundraising goal for your Giving Tuesday. Give it a title that tells people that this is for a specific event, and then you just sort of give it a time frame, and then you can have a longer description afterwards about Giving Tuesday. Maybe mention the fact that Classy is waiving fees, and there you have it. It's very quick and very easy, and you can share that, and it's created instantly, and you can share that page anywhere. And you can push it out via, say, your Facebook event, or through email, which we'll get to. And it's its own special page within your larger campaign just for Giving Tuesday, with its own Giving Tuesday goal. And we can help you with this if you need. And yeah, so you can push it out, this link, through social media, anywhere you have, and give people a sort of a call to action in terms of the donate on this Giving Tuesday, consider us, and the reason why it's important, and impact examples, call to action. You already have it in sort of your main campaign, but sort of reiterate it, that especially since their donations on Classy will be even more of an impact, and there'll be a lot of people on social media talking about Giving Tuesday, and it's actually useful to sort of connect yourself to this larger trend, and using hashtags or tagging in general shows that you're part of a sort of a larger movement that's a celebration of giving, and puts you in other people's radar that it might not have been there. Yeah. And then leverage people off of your own committee. This is a crucial part of crowdfunding, is that every time you share with somebody, that you ask them to share, and then think about the various areas where you have connections, and sort of you just, even as simple as just sharing the link to your donation page, or just your Facebook event page for Giving Tuesday or the holiday season, and just look in your various areas. Yeah, and then you can have in-person events if you want to go the extra mile, and have people come in, like, and then here's some general overview of sort of the details you have to sort of cover for events, and that if you want to do it sort of thoughtfully, and using sort of what Mishak outlined before in terms of the sort of the 4 ways you can plan and evaluate and control and organize, is just a way to do it, and making sure that you're making the most out of this opportunity and making a really thoughtful event. Yeah, and here's a template for events in terms of making sure you have everything covered. We had to do this ourselves for our annual event, and the details sort of add up, even if it's a small one. So always useful to sort of outline these things in advance. And then for emails, it's making sure that it is specific to Giving Tuesday, and also a story that leads to a call to action. Visual content is always a plus, and sort of activates sort of people's relation to a story, and sort of puts it in more concrete terms, and gives a more legitimacy to your call to donate, and it's crucial, and that's why it's used in every nonprofit sort of appeal to donating. The power of it. And then you can also put your link to your special Giving Tuesday page alongside this general appeal, but make it unique to your organization, make it unique to this event. Yeah, and as always, this part is the giving levels will just be inherently a part of your classy page, so that will be shown to them. But when you're making an appeal, this is always useful for, like, right up front, giving them an impact example. And as we have some here, and then you can, if you have that information, you can send separate sort of appeals to people that have different levels of giving, and encourage them to make similar size gifts this time. And a series of emails starting with introduction to Giving Tuesday is coming up, to here comes Giving Tuesday, to encouraging people to continue giving is a lot more effective. And tax benefits is also a huge reason people give towards the end of the year, is because they want to make sort of that cutoff for a 2016 donation, and anything up to December 29th or 31st is applicable. So emphasize that this is the last time where you can get that, if you want, for 2016. And again, emphasize that 100% donations are going directly to the project and the program expenses, and no administrative costs. And then in Giving Tuesday specifically, 100% is going, because there's no classy fee. So this is just like a pure donation to a cause, and sort of emphasize the empowering nature of that, and sort of the fact this is always true for One World. Yeah, and here's sort of an outline of sort of the email template. Yeah, the introduction, sort of a larger, more sort of call to action because of Giving Tuesday is on the 29th, and then follow-ups to that and reminding people that they still have time to give before the year's end. So it sort of keeps them engaged. You don't want to over flood them, but around this amount of engagement is good for keeping it in their mind and allowing them to always have an opportunity to give, and making it feel like it's part of a larger thing.
So not only that, you want to make sure that you are really using all the tools and Classy and everything that's available to you, but you want to make sure that your donation button is there, because those are important things. And then you want to also be looking at, as you do your time frame, before the event or before the holiday season, when does it start and what should you do there? During the holiday season, what should you do there? Just like Jackson was talking about the series of email. So you have one email that comes right before the holiday season, then you have emails that goes all throughout, and then you have email that comes after. But always remember, you have to keep on thanking people for supporting, and you surely going to have a major thank you at the end. But you also want to remember that as you blend things out, you know that the three different time frames are all there, and you have activities for all of them. And so we have some ideas as to some resources that you can take as to what you should do in terms of fundraising, because I know sometimes you want to be creative. So there's a few links that are there available to you, so you can just search there, and they have actually some really good ideas and things that are very, very nice for you. And so we have an exercise that you can use as some of the plan that I talked about, and it can help you do a draft, and that can really help you to get started. And so we would love to actually know what are your plans for the holiday, especially for Giving Tuesday, and we can help you promote those. Keep us updated and let us know what you're planning to do, and let us know what we can do to help you. So there's a couple of things that I want to mention. Is first, this year, the Grow campaign is there as a tool to support One World, raising awareness, reach out to people to give during Giving Tuesday. We would like to ask you to also promote our page. Is the more funds that we can get there, it's the more funds that will be available to all the partners. As you know, when we'll always make sure that we have a match. With this year, we have a match that's only available to some of the partners, the one that are struggling more in fundraising. But then we want to have a larger fund that's going to be available to everyone. So the more funding that we can get throughout this holiday season, the more funds that we can also give back to you as to our contribution, or we can help you leverage other funding. So our advice to you, this is our tips to you as to what you need to do to get you started. You'll have questions. I know you please feel free to reach out to me. So as I said, this exercise is good for you to really help you get started. I think it's a good enough support and good enough plan for you. But then, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or Jackson. But I do want to mention a couple of things before we leave. One is that One World has a Classy page, which is that we are also using leverage for us to add this as you promote your organization. Because the idea is the funding that is coming through the Grow campaign, that challenge, is going to be matched 100%. But also, the most important thing is for you to know is that you're not just helping us raising fund for ourselves, but it's going to be actually money to be available. Part of it will be available to share back with our partners. As you know, one will always make sure that we have some funding available for leverage. So we want to use that to raise funding for that aspect. So this year we do have some matching funds for some of our partners. Two partners that are straight. So if you are struggling with fundraising, then we about match to you to leverage more funding during the holiday season, especially Giving Tuesday. With that, I just want to thank you for attending and thank you for listening. So please feel free to reach out to myself or to Jackson. You would love you to reach Giving Tuesday and not even wait for the rest of the holiday. I would love for you to actually double throughout the holiday season. We would like to see that and let us know anything that we can do to help you achieve that. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.